Yeah, no, I thought he had a good game. I thought he made some really smart plays, especially that one in the third. Good patience coming out of our zone, made a cross ice pass, tape to tape to someone in stride. He's physical in the right spots. He's a big body. He plays heavy. One thing I'd like to see him do is get open, try to get some more opportunities to shoot the puck. He is an absolute bomb, and we have to do a good job or a better job of trying to find him some more opportunities to shoot that puck. So I liked what I saw. Obviously, I think there's going to be early on in the game. There's probably an adjustment to from the big ice to small ice, which I mean I think that gets talked about all the time. Just some wall play early on, but then he figured it out quick, which means he's a smart player. So I liked his game here tonight.
I saw him play on television at the World Championships on the power play, but he wasn't on the point. Why'd you decide to put him there? Is that something he's done?
He was on his one-time flank. Maybe there's an opportunity for him to switch there, but no, he's on his one-time flank, so we can get him in that shot spot. He made a couple nice plays through the seam to Danielson on the other side, but he's a shooter. We want to get him the puck as much as we can over there to get pucks to the net, and that's the spot in that left flank.
Thank you, Dan.
Yep, thank you.
Next.
Yeah, and I know you've only had him for a couple of days, but Lombardi was talking about some of the little passes too that Brent Seabrook can make. How important is that for a shooter to kind of have that tool as well?
Right, yeah. I mean, it's a double threat, right? I mean, he can shoot it, he can make plays. Like I said, he made a couple nice seam plays over to Danielson on the power play. Couple nice slip passes on breakouts to low support coming through. He's a smart player, and he can make those plays. He's got a good all-around game. He's not afraid to use his body, so he's got a lot of tools there. And I liked his game there. I thought he played a mature game. There's a lot to work with and a lot of growth and development for him here just in one game.
You had Lombardi all year last year, obviously, but to see him kind of set the pace kind of early in this game, how good was that to see?
Oh, it's great. As a coach, you want to see guys have good off seasons and see what they worked on, see what they did in the summertime. And you can see that, he got a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, but he didn't lose any speed. His pace is still there. Obviously, guys, I think we mishandled some pucks early on. But with that said, he created the pace tonight for us. That whole second line did with Johannes, Doucette, himself. They got in on the forecheck. He was a big part of that. Got out of our zone clean. So again, we want to see growth in these guys, not just from their hockey side of it, but what they did, the work they put in this summer. We want to see that come to fruition for them. And I thought I saw that here tonight.
And then having just gotten a glimpse at Nate late in the year last year, what are you hoping to see out of him this weekend?
Yeah, I think with Nate, just again, he's the leadership role, number one. He's been in this tournament before, so he's done a really good job so far of keeping the guys in check off the ice, ready for the game, ready for the periods. I'd like to see that, which he's done a good job. And then even on the ice, we know how smart he is, we know how talented he is, making sure he can do that consistently, shift after shift, period by period. He's got to be a leader on the ice, off the ice, like I mentioned, and good start for him. Maybe hanging on to pucks a little too long at times. But I think, you give a guy a little bit of rope, a little bit of leash to do that in these types of games, but he'll figure it out. And, as soon as that NHL training camp starts, he'll figure that part out. But really smart player. We're lucky to have him here. Just a really responsible, reliable two-way guy. And again, his line was effective tonight.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bob Duff.
You had a brief look at Doucette in Grand Rapids last year. He's obviously scored at other levels. What do you think he needs to do to make that next step and be a scorer at the AHL?
Well, I think tonight was a good first impression. Again, what he put in the summertime, I think he's in better shape. We know he can score. We know he's got that energy. Now it's being consistent with it. And I think we saw that consistency. He was able to follow up shift after shift with his skating, with his compete level. What he did with the puck. That's what we need to see all the time with him, is just that high energy, but at a consistent level. So he made a great first impression on the staff here tonight, and hopefully he can continue that into tomorrow's game.
Reichlovsky seemed to get better as the game went on, and he's certainly showed a lot of high-end skill, and especially in the third period. What have you seen from him so far?
Yeah, I love his skill. I love his energy. And one thing that probably went a little unnoticed that we saw is that compete level, playing through bodies. He's not scared of the physicality. He got through hands. He stole a lot of pucks. He created a lot of turnovers for us. You can see he's got that hunting mentality. He wants the puck. He's willing to go and get it back. He's not scared of that work and that compete level. So I liked his game a lot here tonight, and I'm looking forward to see his development here. Again, that big ice is small ice. I thought we did struggle a little bit early on. He struggled a little bit early on, but then he figured it out real fast and was effective on our breakouts, effective through the neutral zone with speed. There's a lot to like with him.
And Finney's another guy you had a brief look at last year. It just seems like he creates a buzz every time he's out on the ice.
He does. I mean, you look at the move he made for the goal. Again, another responsible player up the middle. He can play wing, he can play center, so he's got some versatility to his game. He can be on a power play. He certainly can penalty kill. I just see him getting better and better every time I've seen him, from his first development camp after he was drafted to last year. And now again, he just continues to put mass on his body, continues to keep the speed though, and the skill that he has to work on that. He's maturing. He's a mature individual off the ice. You can see his game maturing as well.
Thanks a lot, Dan.
Thank you.
Last question will go to Connor Eargon.
Hello. Hunter Johannes and Carson Banel are both really big dudes and they play like it. I'm curious what you saw from them today and maybe what excites you about having them in Grand Rapids this next season if they make the roster.
Yeah, I'll start with Johannes. We got to see him a little bit last year. What I like about him is he put a lot of work in the offseason. I know that for a fact. He was in Detroit most of the summer. His skating is certainly improved, and he's able to get on the forecheck, and he's not scared of the physicality. You know, he gets in there, he's going to be aggressive along the walls. He's going to be able to get pucks out. He's got more skill, I think, when people probably give him credit for. And with Carson, he got to the net here tonight, and I love to see that. Just guys who are willing to go to those quote unquote dirty areas, be willing to take cross checks, slashes, and still get opportunities to score goals. He's still a couple, 2, 3 good chances down low. And we need that. That's the way the game's going. It's whoever wins the net fronts typically is going to win the game or have a good chance to win the game. And both those guys can provide that for us. So a lot to look forward to in those two guys, and something every team needs.
And then last question for me about Shaq Boam. You only had him, I think, for one game last season that he got into. I'm curious what you see from him coming out of the offseason.
Well, I think with Shy, a couple of things we did see was he has the ability, those 2-3 strides, he can skate out of trouble, out of his zone. And, we had him on that top power play unit. He has the ability to move pucks. He's a good passer. He sees it well. So again, I think it's going to be the pace, the speed. He's got to learn to play with that. But outside of that, he's got his head up. He's got good vision. He sees the ice well. And, again, another good off season for him. That's going to allow him now to hopefully have another great game tomorrow and lead into good NHL training camp.